And now some big developments coming in from the United States. Special counsel Robert Hur is currently testifying in front of the House Judiciary Committee about his investigation into President Joe Biden's mishandling of classified documents. This comes after Hur's February report indirectly suggested that President Biden had failed to protect sensitive information. Hur has told lawmakers that his assessment of Biden's memory was necessary and accurate and even fair, despite White House early slamming his comments as out of line.
My task was to determine whether the president retained or disclosed national defense information willfully. That means knowingly and with the intent to do something the law forbids. I could not make that determination without assessing the president's state of mind. For that reason, I had to consider the president's memory and overall mental state and how a jury likely would perceive his memory and mental state in a criminal trial. These are the types of issues that prosecutors analyze every day.
The report found Biden willfully retained classified information, including top secret documents, and knew he possessed some documents as far back as 2017. He also shared some of that information with a ghostwriter of his 2017 memoir. Hur, however, did not bring in any criminal charges.
Classified documents.
And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehran is now joining us live from New York. Susan, what is the latest from the Robert Hur's House Judiciary Committee? He remains defiant.
Yeah, he remains defiant, and it really comes at a sensitive time considering the fact that Democrats were celebrating President Biden's State of the Union address as showcasing a leader that's really in control and doesn't suffer from any issues regarding to his age. So the question now remains, and at the heart of this hearing ultimately will be, if President Biden's mental acuity is under question, then should he be commander-in-chief of the United States and get elected for a second term? If it's not, then why then isn't the Justice Department prosecuting him for willfully retaining those documents and sharing it with his ghostwriter? And we learned from Robert Hur that the contract for the book that Biden was writing was somewhere upwards of $8 million. So we're going to expect a lot of that moving forward, a lot of those questions. And of course, you know, it's another primary day here in the United States. A swing state like Georgia is going to the primaries. And it's going to be interesting to see how all of this develops.
Susan, can you explain to our viewers briefly how President Biden's age is a hot topic as he readies for a rematch with Donald Trump?
It's just time and again, the American people have seen so many gaps from the current president in public. Unfortunately, he's been tripping a lot of times. He's been misquoted as, you know, mistaking Gaza with Ukraine. And it's also the issue of just the way that he's dealing with the media, how he sort of shies away from impromptu questions on the one hand, and on the other hand, you know, during sit-down interviews, you can really feel like he's being thrown softball questions. His age is an issue because, one, the White House tried to make it not an issue in the beginning, saying that everything is fine, don't believe your lying eyes. And on the other hand, you know, it comes at a very sensitive time when the world is really facing so many different challenges. And I think there is a sense of you know, concern not only among Republicans, but Democrats as well, about how the United States is going to move forward, not only domestically, but internationally as well. So, yes, the issue of age with President Biden is not going anywhere, despite the fact that now the White House is embracing it. You see it in his campaign videos saying that it's to his advantage. But nonetheless, it's going to be a hard sell to the American public.
All right, I've been talking to our correspondent, Susan Tehrani, live in New York. Thank you, Susan. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.